Howdy, everybody. How's it going? Looks like we got people rolling in here. That's good to see. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's good to see you. All right, everyone's rolling in. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Make sure you can see me. The captions are coming in through. I'd love if Facebook would, or sorry, not Facebook, but if YouTube would start doing automatic live captioning again so we can get rid of this clunky screen down here and kind of clean it up a bit. But in the meantime, we'll keep it as is. Yeah, let me know if everybody can see in here. We got Dennis, Iron, good to see you here. Happy you made it. Matthew, good to see you. Doug, and some people lurking in the shadows. Just say hello. Let me know you're here. Loud and clear. Cool. So today's office hours, what I'd like to do today is I'm in another mastermind for my own business and kind of for my own networking and, for the reasons that you would be in a mastermind. And so one thing that I always keep an eye out for is to see how other people facilitate masterminds and group events and things like that, to see how I can make what I do better for you guys. And there's certain things that they do that are really cool, and other things that I go, I think that we do that way better. One of the things that I'd like to make sure that we do in these masterminds and these kind of office hours, in the mastermind in general, but in the office hours especially, is make sure that you're utilizing my time. The fact that I'll show up for you every week, and even if it's just me, just kind of on a soapbox, just kind of sharing, a tidbit or answering a few questions, I'm totally cool with that. I'm happy to answer your questions and kind of point you in the right direction. That's the point. But I also want to make sure that you've got my ear and my attention. And if you need help with something in real time, I could pull you up on the screen. We can get on, what's cool about Ecamm is we can go on a call and you can be on the screen as well. I could pull your website up on the screen and we can walk through things, your copy, we can do some reviews. Like this is not meant to just be kind of just a hangout session. Because Lord knows, there's a lot of stuff out there that you could be listening to. I don't know how much you really just need to be listening to more of me talk. But I'm here to serve you and to help you. So for whether it's 2 people showing up or 20 people showing up, and sometimes that's the case. We've got a lot of people showing up some days, and other weeks they're preoccupied with other things and they can't attend. That means if there's less people, you got more of my attention. If you need something specific, if you want to walk through something, if you want to jam on an idea, that's why I'm here. Okay. So just so you know, I got a few questions queued up, but I'm also, I am here to, actually I only got one question queued up. So I'm here to help you. And if I don't want to be a waste of your time. So if we're doing an office hours and there's not really much need for me to be present in that moment of time, or throughout the hour or something, then we can have a shorter office hours. That's totally fine. I want to be respectful of your time. Another thing that I want to make sure, I just had a moment this morning when I was coming home from the coffee shop. I went on a coffee date with my wife. We tend to do that on Thursday mornings, drop the kids off at school and go to a coffee shop. I had a thought when I was coming back as I want to make sure, the whole point of this, there's no point to office hours or freelancing freedom or the course or anything that I'm providing for you. There's no point to this entire product if I'm not actually helping you move forward every single week, whether that's through the course material, through the workbooks, or here in office hours. There's no point to it if I'm not pushing you to the next level. And that's especially true for you regulars who show up to these office hours. I know who you are, and I see you show up. And I would fully expect for that, especially the regular group of people, to be making progress on something. Okay? We're not doing anything in our business if not making progress, if not moving forward. So if we're just taking in more information and thinking that that's cool and not doing anything with it, then there's no point. So the few of you who are here right now, if you've got something that you need to work on If you've got something that you need to bring forward, or if you've got something that's on your mind, share it right now in the chat. Let me know. For each of you here, Matthew, Dennis, Doug, and possibly a couple other people who are, again, hiding in the shadows, what are you working on? And if it's just the 4 or 5 of us, great. That means more for you and less for others who aren't showing up. Okay? And that's okay. What are you working on right now, this week? What have you been working on? And what are you working towards? Think about that. So we could just be working on something. Like I could be working on writing notes about random things I found in a book. But if I'm not working on something specific towards a specific goal, then what's the point of me writing notes? It's moot. It's redundant. It's pointless. So if my overall goal, let's say for me, I'll use an actual example. Freelancing Freedom launch course. One of my courses and products, one of the extensions of my business. I'm in a coaching program, and one of the things I'm working on within that program is to redo all of the marketing for Freelancing Freedom launch. From the sales page to the copy to the emails to the funnels to the marketing strategies, the sales, all of it. And one of the things I'm working on and that I have been working on is the sales page. I rewrote the sales page. It's done so far. I'm getting feedback on it and tweaking it. So what I'm working on is the sales page and now the emails. I'm rewriting all of the emails. I'm trashing everything that I've had up to this point and redoing them all. So that's what I'm working on. And it has a bigger picture view so that launch could get in front of my dream customers for the program. You guys, freelancers, service professionals, consultants, people who are just getting started, people who are side hustlers and want to go full-time, people who are full-time but not steady. That, for this program, that's my key. That's my target. Okay? Those are my dream customers in this particular program. So that's what I'm working on. So feel free, so far just gentlemen, Matthew, Dennis, and Doug, to let me know what you're up to. What are you working on? And what's the bigger picture for that thing you're working on? Share it. And in the meantime, 2 questions. While I'm waiting for you guys to pipe up in there. Also, just a really quick side thing. Since it's just a few of us here right now, I'm also open to the idea of just getting on a Zoom call with you 3 or 4. And just like digging into something for the next 30 minutes. Then we can actually work on something and just kind of like take it over there. Let me know. But in the meantime, I got Matthew sharing something here. Matthew says, what I'm working on, trying to find time to improve the user experience of my software as a service before launch in a few weeks, but struggling with time management. Okay. So you're trying to improve your UX of your SaaS before launch in a few weeks, but struggling with time management. Okay, so in what areas? Okay, first of all, you've got launch in a few weeks. So you got a launch plan. We can talk about that in a sec. What about the UX is bad? Can we bring it up? And I know it's hashtag Slayer. I can't actually dig into it because I signed up more than a week ago and my free trial expired. Would you mind, Matthew, for the sake of this, feel free to turn it off afterwards. Enabling me with like another trial or something so I can walk through it so we can see. We can pull it up on the screen or yeah, however you want to do that. And then the other thing was, so you're trying to improve the UX, user experience of your SaaS. Why? You know, why? Is there something fundamentally wrong? Is there a problem? What areas? Why do you think that the UX needs to be improved? Is it a personal opinion, or have you surveyed and got feedback from beta testers such as me? Sure, give me a minute, no problem. Because I'd like to know if you've got a UX issue because of feedback, let me know, and then we can dig into that. But also time management. So it's like you're dedicating the time that you have to improving the UX of your SaaS, software as a service. But if you don't need to improve the UX, if that's not actually something that's going to move the needle or change anything, then it's a waste of time and should be on the back burner, and you should focus on something else. But that's kind of what I want to get into. So I just want to ensure that it's high quality as I can achieve. And yes, some feedback of people feeling confused. Okay, so fair enough. You don't want to leave a bad impression for your product. You don't want to leave a bad impression of your product. So if there's just some like initial things that are going to help, then yes, then that's probably a good idea to focus on your user experience. When it comes to time, I mean, it's straightforward. It's like time is linear in this world, and we have to work with that. And you have the same 24 hours as I do, and everyone else. Some of the how that time is used is how how you prioritized your day and how certain things and other people require your time. So if you've got a block of time and you have an outcome, give yourself a hard deadline and push yourself to focus on something very specific. So if you've got UX feedback because it's confusing, okay, what is the metric or the measurement or the goal of fixing that? So if you go, okay, I need to add this, change this, and make this better. Okay, bring it back down to earth. Give yourself 2 hours and a standard block of and block it off. No distractions, nothing else. That's it. 2 hours until it's done. Or when the time is up, and you just do it. You just block it off and schedule that in as well. So if you know you're going to need more than 2 hours of time to do that, say, okay, every afternoon for 2 hours or evening for 2 hours, I do this until it is done. And that's only if it matters. Okay. It's only if it's crucial, because you don't want to be spending time on something that just get it good enough. Right. So just a thought with that. You also had a question there, Matthew. Well, kind of while we're on the topic of you said you had a question about how should I factor who my client is to my quotes. For example, if I'm sending a quote to an agency rather than an end client, should I charge less or more? Well, for agencies, you'd charge more. Well, it depends on the end client. If the end client is like a high net worth individual or CEO of a company or somebody who's, expecting a really high result and outcome, then that's one thing. That's something specific that it's more about, okay, what do they need? What's the value of that outcome? And okay, then you charge based on the value of the outcome. And, you could take into other factors like your time and things like that. But if you're charging based on value and you're giving yourself a large padding and anchoring based on the value of the outcome, then it kind of doesn't matter. Because like, for example, a smaller client who's just necessarily smaller than, say, an agency or like a high-end client, the value of their outcome, you might not even want to take on that client. You might go, oh, it's not worth it for me to do that because I only work with clients who go for who are in a certain category. But let's say you take on everyone at this point. The value of the outcome for a small client who wants a small deliverable, the value of that is much smaller for them because they're not going to get that much result out of it because their business is this big, or they're working on the side. Whereas a larger business or an agency, there's higher urgency, there's higher pressure, there's higher stakes, and there's a reputation. So they're not looking for piddly, just run-of-the-mill bargain bin solutions. They're looking for the best. So give them the best and ask the price for the best. Okay, so you might have to keep in mind, they're white labeling your service in a way, an agency, but that's just the cost. If they want to get a bargain bin freelancer, they can go to Upwork but they're not going to do that. They want somebody good who's precise and excellent, and they'll pay for excellency. Okay. So that's kind of what it is. It's like there's a sliding scale. I know in my experience with agencies, in my kind of rookie mistake at the very beginning years ago, I undercharged a proposal. And luckily I had somebody on the inside of the agency who said, that's too low. They're just going to laugh you out of the room, but I know you can handle the project. Now, that friend of mine and colleague had the kindness and grace to let me know that. Most agencies will just look at like all the other bidders who are saying, okay, it's going to be 50,000, 60,000, 48,000, 75,000. And then this freelancer comes in and goes, I'll do it for $6,000. They'd laugh you out of the room. They go, get out of here. You're not playing in the big leagues. But if you walk in and you go, that's a $20,000 job, they'll go, okay, it's less than these others, but you're also smaller. Do you know what you're getting into? Absolutely. Here's this, here's this, here's this, here's the outcome. I don't know why you wouldn't go with me because it's less. I get it. You're working with these bigger agencies and other companies and software firms. They're going to charge you an arm and a leg. Rightly so. They got all the overhead. I don't, but I have everything that they have in a much more lean package, and you're going to get the value and the outcome you're looking for. So is that what we're here for? My fee is $20,000. Do you see what I mean? Okay. So, okay, now we got a little bit of a chat going in here. So Matthew says, that helps. I need to get a bit more structured. Currently, I'm juggling 6 client projects, which is more than I'm used to. Okay. Matthew says, Brad, your free trial should be, endless now. Okay. Thank you for that, Matthew. I'll pull it up on the screen in a moment here. A couple of things I want to mention there, Matthew. You said you got 6 active clients right now. Great. Awesome. I like to hear that. And hopefully you got another one coming, because I made an intro there for you. And hopefully that is a very fruitful relationship. Agency work tends to be. And if you need help, if you like inside guy. Okay. This is interesting. I had an inside guy at an agency when I was quoting and I was getting initial work from an agency. Consider me an inside guy. I know these people. In fact, I introduced you to them. Yeah, and you know who I'm talking about. So if you have any questions you want to run by me in kind of a confidential manner, feel free to make sure you're on the right track. But 6 active clients, that's great. As a solo freelancer, yikes, buddy, that's a lot. When I've got 3 or 4 clients actively going, managing myself with freelancing freedom and other stuff and a bunch of like, it's a lot. Okay. So I think you're going to need to find a way to manage that, to systemize, structure that, maybe tweak your offer in a way so it's more productized and it's easier to deliver. Or the obvious other solution, if you're kind of more of a flexible, providing more customized solutions, you need to get somebody else on board to help you. You need an assistant, virtual assistant, kind of a junior developer or junior designer, someone to fill in the gaps, to help carry things along for you. Okay. You're starting to get to that stage, and you might think that, oh, but I'm only making this much, or I'd like to keep that income because I work hard for it. You work hard for it and you want to keep that because you're giving all of your time and energy to it and you have this much time left. Hire somebody who charges you this, and then you get the profit on top of it, and then you get to take on more projects. It's just like a natural, you pay to be able to have more time. The projects still come in, and now you have more capacity, and you could charge more, and you could deliver it faster and better and more excellently. Does that make sense? Matthew says, thanks. They weren't supposed to be all active at once, but 2 projects from September got delayed. A time management issue. Also, an issue of you taking the reins on how your schedule works. We tend to, as freelancers and individual consultants, let the clients determine when we work. And that's a problem. So for example, when it comes to my done in one day marketing intensives, that's client work. That's just client work. And I give them only one day and they don't get to choose. They get to choose when they want to work with me, but it's based on my parameters. If they go, okay, I'd like to get started as soon as possible, Brad. Can we start next week? And I will say, absolutely not. Doesn't work that way. It's always 2 weeks before an intensive for your homework. And that one's booked. And then the following week is my wife's birthday. And I don't work on that specific day. And then after that, like there's a small window of time and then Christmas is coming. So it's like you work on my parameters. And then when the day comes, you show up or I don't do the work and you don't get your money back. It's just how it works. And it's all laid out. And I take full control. And they really, really love it. When they get to decide, they just think they're used to, okay, are you available now, Matthew? Okay, cool. Okay, let's get started. Another one comes. Are you available now? Okay, let's start it. I'm ready now. And you go, oh, thanks. You've been so tardy and lazy with your priorities that now I am subject to your laziness and to your lack of scheduling. Okay, sure. Okay, yeah, I can do it. And then you got 6 clients at the same time and no time left over and you're drowning in service debt. When you say, here's how I work, here are my blocks, here's when I do client work, here's when I don't. And then when a client says yes to your proposal and they want to get started, you say, this is when we start. If we don't start that day, there's different parameters. You can say it's a $500 fee to start it back up. And they go, well, why? Like, because I don't tolerate a lack of consistency and laziness. And in so many words, you could say it gently and lovingly, obviously, but they get it. They'll appreciate it. Oh, okay. You're serious. When I got you, it's valuable and I need to take that seriously rather than, oh, I got a freelancer in my back pocket and I'll just kind of just call them when I need to. And I'm busy this week and I kind of got a vacay next week and the boss is out of town the following. Maybe I'll just get Matthew just to work. You know what? Matthew's cool. He'll do January. No, Matthew won't. Okay. That's not how this works. Is this coming across? Let's see. Makes sense. I was wondering if I was getting to that point. Yes, you are. Okay. Dolly, good to see you. Welcome. Dolly. Hello, Dolly. Do you get that? Do you get that too much? And that's old. Like if someone were to say, hello, Dolly. Or is that like really charming? I don't know. But I do like hello, Dolly. Okay. What do we got here? Doug, I've been working towards automating systems so that I'm better prepared for growth. Okay. The bigger picture is that I have a side gig that makes it hard to dig into what I need to get done, like my webpage and copy, which needs to be updated to reflect my new niche. Doug, would you mind sharing exactly what you're talking about? Do you have a website you want us to look at? Tell me, what systems are you automating? The bigger picture is you have a side gig and it's hard to dig into what I need to get done, like my webpage and copy, which needs to be updated. So we have an idea of your niche. It's outdoor sports and adventure industry, correct? Am I getting that? Let's see your website. Show us what you're working on. Okay. I want to see it. Dolly. I made it. I'm on mobile though, waiting for my daughter to finish up. Dennis says, I just started last week. How might I be able to gain a first client to do basic WordPress site right away? I need to do my first 1-year goal with the needed steps. Okay. Okay. Great question. I want everybody to chime in on this. So we got a handful of people here. Matthew, Doug, Dolly, whoever else is back there. How might Dennis quickly get his first client? Granted, we know that he is a WordPress web designer and wants to be able to build WordPress websites for clients. Many of us have been there, and many of us have branched into different niches and products and different industries from that. It's kind of a launching ground. It's also a fruitful area of the web development niche. So how might Dennis get his first client? And The first client is kind of like that validation that goes like, okay, I can do this. I put myself out there. I asked for this. I made the offer. I asked for the sale. I landed the client. I'm doing the work. It's kind of like a huge confidence boost. It's probably the biggest confidence boost that you could possibly get. And every client after that is just kind of, it just becomes easier and easier and easier. So Matthew says, have you ever done WordPress client work, or is this literally your first project? This is great. And I want to keep this conversation going here. This is my very first. Dennis, have you ever built a WordPress website before? Like, do you have experience? Give us some insight here. Give us some context. And then we can kind of be a bit more specific for you. The more specific you are for us, the more specific we can be for you. Okay, while you're doing that, I'm just going to play some music in the background here while I dig something up. Let me see. This is just my holding music. I'm just trying to find something. All right, so Matthew says, if you patronize any small businesses, be friendly with the owners, find out how things are going, see if you can help. They're on the right track. I was able to get jobs, says Doug, using my immediate network, letting them know what I was up to, and it was my wife who put me out there in her network. Okay, these are gold. A lot of things we don't think about when we're new, when we're starting, or maybe even when we're experienced. We're like, how do we get clients? There's got to be some magical formula. It's pretty straightforward. And I don't mean that in like in a bad way. I mean, like it's not rocket science, but we make it out to be. Dolly says, are there any people in your network who might be clients or referrals? You guys are so awesome. Making my job easy. Keep it going. I am just trying to find a specific script for you. Okay. Let's see if I can open the link here. I'll share my screen in a second. Okay. So the key here, Dennis, is your first client is in your network. They're there. They're waiting for you. Further clients, as you grow, that's going to expand. But I like to say there's kind of like 3 tiers. There's your immediate network, the low-hanging fruit, your first connections, then your secondary connections, and then your tertiary connections. So first is like your immediate network. So this is a networking game. It's about friends, family, colleagues, people at your church, people in your network, people at events you go to. Maybe you go to meetups. Maybe you play weekly hockey. Maybe when you open your eyes to the connections that you have, you realize that if every person is connected to like 5 close other potential connections, then that your network dramatically and exponentially grows like a virus, like the coronavirus, but in a positive, loving way, not in a crappy way that twists the world upside down. But I digress. Matthew says, for example, you may not be able to charge much without any experience, but if you already have built trust at other businesses, you can convince them to give you a chance. Perhaps that means cutting the dollar amount with a bit of a barter. For example, years ago, I did a 1-page website for my barber for a year's worth of haircuts. The same year, I did a website for my gym where I charged $3,000 plus $1,200 worth of gym membership. Dennis says, do I contact someone who doesn't have a website or improve an existing one? Okay, good questions. Cold outreach to just businesses without any relationship building can result in a low return in your investment of time and potentially burn some connection, burn bridges a little bit. You want to be valuable. You want to be authentic. You want to be genuine, and you want to connect. I like saying and starting with low-hanging fruit, so immediate connections first. Why? You already have a relationship. Trust is there. It's built in. They know who you are. So friends, family, colleagues, connections, people at church groups, hockey, sports, events, your network, the people who you have a relationship with. So it's not weird for you to say, hey, actually, you're in a conversation, you're having a quick little chat, and they say, hey, what have you been up to lately? You know what? Actually, I just joined a program called Launch with a bunch of freelancers and other entrepreneurs who are starting their businesses because I want to kickstart my business. And I'm actually starting my business right now, helping these people get this by doing this. Do you know of anybody actually who might be interested in having a chat about that? It's just starting the conversation. So here's an example. I'm going to share a script with you I've shared with people over the years, tweaked it over time, and I'm going to share this with you. See if I can share my screen. All right, so check this out. This is a script that it's in the program, it's in the course, it's there, but we can jump the gun a little bit here. I usually have people post this on their social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever their tool is. Don't post on Instagram if you don't use Instagram. It's a waste of time. But if you're on Facebook and you've got people and you're regular there and you use it, great. That's where you'll post this. Email, if you don't really do social media that much, but you're in email threads or you text people or you phone people, if you're like old fashioned, that's fine. It's the essence of what I'm sharing here. So what you do is essentially, this is the message with your immediate connections, your social network, whether it's actually on Facebook or your social network in the real, true, traditional sense of the word, which is your network of first connections or friends of friends. Hey friends, I'm in the early stages of launching my such and such business. You can start with, when they say, hey, what are you up to lately? What are you up to lately, Dennis? I actually just invested in a program with a bunch of freelancers to help me launch my business. I'm really excited about it. Cool. Tell me a little bit about it. Well, I'm in the early stages of launching my, web design business, helping small businesses get their website online so they can start marketing their services and competing on a local level. And I'm looking to build up my client list. If you know of somebody who's actually looking for that or would benefit from something like that, would you mind passing them my way? So on social media, would you mind tagging them in the post or introduce them to me in a private message? I have a certain number of spots available for new clients who want my discounted launch rate, and there's a reward for anyone who sends me a paying client. Now, you could tell them that, or you could not tell them that about the reward part. Let's say you're talking on the phone or you send a text. You go, hey, launching my business, helping these people do this. I have 3 client spots at an introductory launch rate. If you know of anybody, I'd love if you could send them my way. Thanks. Really appreciate it. And then if they send you someone, paying client, ask the client, hey, who did this come from? Oh, it was Wendy. Oh, great. Wendy. Send her a Starbucks card. Send her flowers. Send her and her husband a meal. Like something that's charitable and nice. So Dennis, your question about do I contact someone who doesn't have a website or improve an existing one, that's a part of the picture, but it's less about scouring the web for your local businesses to see who has crappy websites. Lots of them do. And then saying, hey, your website's kind of bad. I can maybe do a better job. But if they have a relationship with you, if you establish a connection, talk to people at the coffee shop, kick up conversation, ask how business is going. You might actually be in connection with the person you're talking to. It might be the owner of the coffee shop. And then you just chat. How's business going? Coronavirus is crazy. Hey, how has it affected you? How's it affected you with everything happening, with the masks and the social distancing and everything's 6 feet away, all the chairs? And have you seen kind of a boost? Or I know some businesses, it's really been hard on them, but other ones, it's kind of been like a blessing in disguise. They go, well, you know what? Actually, it's been a little bit tricky. There's a couple coffee shops and they're really good with their marketing. Like they do the websites and I'm not really that savvy with that sort of stuff. So we're trying to figure that out. It'd be nice if I could, get things a little more steady or if we can get things back to normal. But if things aren't going to go back to normal, I have to find a new way. And you go, I totally hear you. I understand. I think I can help you. Here's what I'm doing. I'm actually amidst all this starting something new as well. And I'm actually helping small business owners with exactly that. Do you want to have a coffee about that? We can sit down, on your lunch break. I'll buy you a coffee and we can kind of chat about this. I think I can help you out. I think we could be mutually beneficial. So do you see how this works? It's not about any crazy, magical formula at this point about getting initial clients. It's about actually telling people you're in business, offering a solution to a problem, and communicating that, building a relationship, using your existing relationships in an authentic way, not in like a multi-level marketing, network marketing, scammy way where you exhaust your network to abuse them emotionally to try and get clients in your downline or some crap like that. You can probably tell my opinion on multi-level marketing. It's like being an authentic person and going, hey, I'm going to be elevating above this level. I'm not going to be looking for business amongst my friends all the time, but I have a relationship with you and I trust you and you trust me. And perhaps you know of somebody who, like hat in hand, I humbly come to you looking to see if you know of somebody who would benefit from my offer. Does that make sense? So that's your initial start, okay? Telling people you're in business, having an offer, I help these people get this by doing this. Have an offer. An offer is a sentence. I help X get Y, where X is your audience and Y is their solution. Whoa, Dennis, I didn't know you did that. How do you do that? Well, I build WordPress websites that convert local traffic to phone calls or customers. Wow. Yeah, I actually am a small business owner. I have my brother, his coffee shop's having a hard time. I could put you guys in touch. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. That's how you start. If I were to start a brand new business, which I've done many times in a new industry, a new offer, you start this big. Okay. And then you grow and you grow, you build connections, you build referrals, you nurture relationships, you start automating it and systemizing it. You start using email marketing to keep your list growing, to keep in contact with people, to make sure you're always managing relationships and growing and growing and growing, getting referrals, testing new ideas, refining your offer, raising your rates, building your network and establishing yourself. And then growing from there, marketing with other reinvesting profits into advertising, into different marketing strategies, relaunching your website with a professional web designer who's doing it properly. Lots of different methods. Okay. So you start really small. Okay. Matthew also says, oh, this is, one other quick note for you, Dennis, because I know you're new and I want to kind of like hit a home run for you here, so you know that this is the best possible place for you to be. Which it is, and I could say that confidently, not with arrogance, but because I've been doing this for years and I've got a group of people here, and this is only a small segment of them, who could back me on that. I'll show up for you. If I screw up, I'll make it right. And I want you to get clients. I know how you can get clients, but you have to do the work. I can point you in the direction, I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make it drink, sort of thing. You're not a horse, but you get the point. You got to do the work. You got to put yourself out there. You got to be uncomfortable. You got to do the hard thing. And I know you, because I talked to you on the phone, you're that kind of person. Unless I got you totally wrong. But I don't like to let people in here unless I know they're actually going to show up, because otherwise they're kind of a pain in my rear end. Why do I say that? Because they say, hey, this program didn't magically change my life. I'm like, well, did you try? No, that's your job. I'm like, I did. Look what I put here for you. And I show up every week. And you're still not, okay, yeah, here's your money back. That's how I work, okay? But you got to show up, and I know you can do it, okay? Just like everybody here, we struggle together, we win together, we grow together, okay? Get on board. You can do it, man. I know you can. And that's why I'm here. That's why we're here. Reach out to these people. We've all been there. Some of us are still there. Some of us are way, 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 way past that. That's why the Mastermind's here. Ask for help. Share your own value. Okay. So that said, cool, says Matthew. Love it. Okay, let's go back to my camera here. Oh, one last thing for you, Dennis, is when I first started, my first client came through my wife. We were at a Christmas party, and it was a chiropractor, and they were starting up a new business. Actually, I think they're still live. I love it. The site that I built, I don't know. I mean, I hope they are just thriving. I don't even know if they're still in business. I think they are. They just don't use their website. But yeah, I built a website back in 2009. And they still use the exact same one. I mean, it's pretty dated, but decent for a first time website. They gave me $595, and it was my first client. Christmas party. They were starting up a chiropractic business, and wanted to know how to like get started and with their marketing. And my wife was like, "Hey, Brad's in school for web design. He can do it for you, probably for a good price too." And then they went, "Whoa, really?" And I put my beer down and I was super nervous, and I went, "Yeah, yep, I can do it. Sure." And $595 later, I built a website for them. And then connections, relationships, my next client came through them, and then through them, and then through them. And then I started getting better at marketing, and then I started growing. And then a couple of years later, quit my job and went full time, and the rest is history. Here I am. So one of the clients, one of my initial clients, I did tradesies. Massage was one of them. Barbershop materials like clippers and stuff, really expensive clippers for like a basic website. Like I've done tradesies, bartering services. My preference is that you get paid money, but at least you trade something, not free. Okay. Matthew, no, Doug. Okay, back to my website. It's not what I want it to be currently. It's not focused, nor is the imagery reflecting my niche. What I need is a focused structure that speaks to my audience and directs them to my yet to be determined irresistible offer. I love it. And okay, back to the web. Do you have a link? Is there a link that I was able to get jobs using my immediate network, let them know what I was up to. Doug, do you have a website we can look at? Because we can pull it up and we can dig in. And I also am really good at researching. I will, I will find your website if it's live. I think I found it. Is it dragonflywebworks.com? See how fast I am? I'm pulling it up, by the way. I hope that's okay. Dragonfly Webworks. Okay. So great. Cool. Okay. So, let me see here. While we dig into this, or before we dig into this, Dolly says, it's been harder for me to get new clients since meetups are on hold. My best client closed in June. I need to grow again. Matthew says, Dolly, are there any virtual meetups happening in your area? Thanks for the suggestion. I haven't run across any yet. I can do some digging. Yes, Dolly. Facebook groups, find out where people are having Zoom meetings. Facilitate them yourself. Here's the other thing. Maybe there's not really much happening in your area. Maybe there are other kind of shoulder groups like women in business groups, certain small business groups, Chamber of Commerce, things like that. Maybe if they're not doing online stuff, facilitate one yourself. Set up a Zoom meeting, be the authority, be the leader, teach something, and lead the group in kind of in a mastermind setting, in a Zoom virtual, meetup conference thing, and be the authority on it and say, hi, my name's Dolly Starr. I'm a local business owner and I help these people get this by doing this. All right, everybody. The point of these meetings is that we're going to learn how to do this. We're going to figure this out, and we're all going to find better ways to grow our businesses, or whatever you want to do. You could be the one who sets it up. Okay. Find other people, find groups. They're there, whether they're in your area or not, they are there. Okay. Zoom has grown exponentially, almost out of their own control, because people are using it all of the time for exactly this. So there are ways for you to get more business. LinkedIn, alignable.com is a website that is really good for local networking and connection. That's where you could start posting your Zoom things or finding Zoom meetings and meetups and virtual hangouts. Highly, highly recommend. Highly recommend. Check out your local Chamber of Commerce, your business networking, international, lots of areas. Okay. Susan, good to see ya. Harold, good to see you too. Let's see. Matthew, not a deal, but I've noticed some meetups have switched to Zoom where I live. Yes, it's better in person, but hey, if Zoom's the way to go, it's a necessary evil. Okay. Zoom your way to that virtual meetup. Okay. Thanks for the suggestion. Susan, hey team, I'm a bit late. Thought it was later. Yikes. Don't worry about it. Good to have you here. Happy, better late than never. And Matthew says, welcome. I can't seem to keep track of the times for these either. Neither can I. We're doing it. We're doing it as an experiment. One, to see if the staggering time helps, if it's good. I think in one way it's good because it helps with people from different time zones and availabilities. And it also helps relieve my schedule a bit so that like Thursday afternoons I'm kind of free, or Tuesdays. Like it's kind of nice sometimes, but we're also open to feedback. If this is terrible, if you guys really don't like the staggered schedule, let us know and we'll see what we can do. But specifically for our students over in India and kind of Europe, that's kind of a key. Excuse me. That's why we did it primarily. Doug says, yes, you are. I am fast. Yes, I got your website. It's still sitting here. We'll get to it. Hey, Dennis, says Susan, I put out that exact message on my Facebook that Brad shared and it worked for me. I got my first client without 15 minutes. That's amazing. See, it works. It's staggering how well it works. Actually, I had a potential client the other day who started her business, and because I did some research. This is very interesting. She's a local business owner, or semi-local. She doesn't live here anymore, but she's in a different city. And she contacted me the other day to inquire about joining us in launch or hiring me for kind of more private coaching. And a couple of years ago, I remember seeing on Facebook, when I was more active on my personal Facebook, a post that looked very similar to that script that I just showed you. This script right here, this one. And it said basically this verbatim, but with the tweaks that I suggested. And I went, that's interesting. A friend, kind of ish, used that script, and now she's in business and she's really growing her kind of it's like family therapy and counseling, social working and stuff. And so I thought that was really cool. It works. Use that script. Okay. Susan says, it was a lot of luck, but in the end I got 3 bites within the first few weeks. It got me started. It's scary, but it works. Sometimes you just need the shotgun approach, just like a kick in the rear end. Just start. Do the work, make yourself uncomfortable, fail forward, get no, go for 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 no, nail a yes. That's how it works. Okay. Don't be afraid to do something because you're going to get a no, because you'll never get a yes if you don't weed through the no. Okay. Does that make sense? Dennis, thank you. Susan, thanks for all your feedback. You got it. Matthew says, Dennis, but also if you get no bites from that script, don't fret. It's only one tactic. When I used the script, got no response. See? Doesn't always work. I'm liking the staggered schedule, just not to go, just gonna get my head around the times for sure. And we'll do our best to make sure that we're really clear on it. We give you the emails to remind you of the schedule, and it's here in the mastermind as well. Especially Susan, because I think you're overseas. So I think it's good, especially for people overseas, for the schedule. Matthew says, agreed. I like the staggered schedule tool. Cool. Matthew says, dating advice with Brad. Go for no. I don't know if dating advice for me is the best choice, or maybe it is excellent choice, because my first serious courtship ended it in having the woman of my dreams be married to me. So, and I was young, got married when I was 20. So maybe I'm not good at giving dating advice because I haven't been dating for 10 years or something. Or maybe I am bullseye. I don't know. But when it comes to business and getting prospects and clients, building relationships, go for no, and you'll hit a yes. If you're afraid because you're going to get a no, then you'll never get a yes, because they're not going to come to you. Okay. Seth Godin, someone I really look up to in the business world and the freelancing world, he says in the Icarus deception, pick yourself, because no one's going to pick you. Okay. Don't wait for someone to pick you. Pick yourself. Let's see. Susan says, no, I'm not. You're overseas. That is so funny. You're right. Because we always say oh, you're across the pond. You're overseas in that exotic land of Europe. But then Europeans are like, no, we're not overseas. You're overseas. And we're like, no. You have an accent. And then they're like, no, you have an accent. I should have done an accent there. No laddie. You're the one with the accent. And I'm like, no, that's an accent. No, Brad, you with that thing you're talking with your mouth, that's an accent. I'm going down a wormhole, guys. Let's get out of this. Darn Canadian centrism. What? Canada is the center of the world, isn't it? Yeah. It is, though. It's a tremendous place. But also, there are other tremendous places, too. After here. Too bad Julie Kanta isn't here, because I would make a Canadian joke and I'd say Canadians are people too. And y'all think we're real polite, but that's just like our way of, we just could like skirt around conflict. I was watching a bit of video about felling trees and was thinking of you guys. Do you guys not fell trees over there? Maybe it's because we got lots of trees. Or is it because we're lumberjacks? I should have worn my lumberjack shirt. Also, I got a really good axe for chopping wood, which I actually do chop wood more than you'd think. Anyway, this is getting really off the rails. Back to Doug's website. Okay. Messaging. Your main thing was, it's not focused on the imagery. Okay. Of your niche. What I need is focus structure. So Doug, who's your audience? Who do you help? Okay. Who do you help? Who's your target audience? And what do you help them get? Tell me that. So Doug will say, I help audience get this. Tell me. Go for it. Okay. It's not nice. It's risk avoidance. Yeah. We just avoid conflict. We'll be like, oh yeah, no, sorry, it's all good. No, don't worry about it. Yeah, you're good, man. Your country's good. My country's good. We're all good. And then you'll go, and then we're like, yeah, my country's better, eh? We don't always talk like that. Okay, so waiting for Doug to let me know who it is, who's the audience, and what do you help them get? Because right now I see, let me help you find your audience. My mission is simple: to collaborate with you to create a beautiful, responsive, professionally designed website, branded to attract your target audience. Okay, so what I'm going to tell you right now, obviously you're changing this, is I have no idea who this is for and what you're doing other than selling a skill. And that's not what you want to do. So messaging is key here. This is what is going to, when you get your target audience at your website, when you send them there, when you're talking to people, you're at a network meeting, a meetup, or a Zoom meeting, a group or whatever, and they ask you like, oh, what do you do? Oh, my name's Doug. I run a local marketing business called Dragonfly Webworks, and we help X get Y. Oh, that's cool. How do I find out more? Well, what do you do? Okay, well, the way that we do that is, here's our process, and this is how it works. It's quite simple. Dragonflywebworks.com. And, that's where you get more information. I don't like sending people to go get more information. Get their information and follow up with them. If you'd like to talk about this, or do you know anyone who would benefit from this? Or do you have any connections with these people, with this target audience? Or maybe you're talking to your target audience and they go, wow, yeah, I'm in the outdoor, I'm a fly fishing guide, and I don't have a website. I've just always relied on, say, for example, I have a friend who's a fly fishing guide, and he makes good money from American executives, like high net worth executives who want to get away from their high stress executive positions. And so they come up to my area of the woods to go fly fishing with my friend, who charges a good fee to take them on the best fly fishing experience of their life. He doesn't have a website. He just but now Americans aren't coming into town. And so how do you start to branch out? And so maybe it's like that guy, you realize in your industry, you go, I can help you get all that set up. I help people in the outdoor adventure industry, get more clients, with their website. Whoa. Yeah. I don't have a website and I've been struggling to get clients. Can you help me with that? Yes. So I help outdoor brands build relationships with their customers by designing websites. Okay. So attract the target audience and convert them to loyal customers. Okay. So the end goal. So I help outdoor brands build relationships, okay, with their customers by designing websites. Okay, this is good. This is good, good, good. So Doug says his target audience is outdoor brands. I like it because it gives us something specific. And if I inquire, you can give me examples. Build relationships with their customers. Okay. That to me is a vague and not so valuable outcome. They're not really looking to build relationships with their customers. That's a side benefit. It would be maybe more of, I feel like you're not painting the whole picture, where you're helping outdoor brands build lasting relationships with their customers. You know, not just build relationships, but build lifelong relationships with their customers. Let's see, and attracting their target audience and converting new customers. So I help outdoor brands attract I help outdoor brands get more customers and build lifelong relationships with their customers. I mean, this is kind of a bunch of word soup here, alphabet soup here. We're trying to craft the message, okay? I never get this on the first try. Neither will you. For example, I won't show you because I can't find it right now. I rewrote the headline for the Freelancing Freedom Launch course on the website. And with the coaching program I'm in, I gave them probably 25, maybe 30 different headlines. That was the message of what we're doing right now. So I never nail it on the first try. So I've got about 30 in the bank for launch. Okay. So it's about capturing attention, calling out your audience, and showing them why they're in the right place. Like this. That doesn't come easily, okay? So work on it. So you have outdoor brands, and feel free people to chime in on this and to give them feedback as well. Let me help you find your audience. Obviously, that's got to go. That's got to go. This is no place for like a branded tagline because nobody cares and it's not going to work. You're not Nike, or a big, Apple. Apple can get away with just like the most vague, like apple.com. I don't even know what it's going to say, but it might just be vague. Like, look at this. iPhone 12 Pro, it's a leap year. Is it actually? What? But they can get away with that stuff because it's Apple. I know what it is. I know what the solution is. I know the value, and they know that people will buy it, boom, on 5 a.m. on November 6th, tomorrow. This is going to be sold out tomorrow because people already know. They've built the relationship. For us, starting small, don't go that route, okay? Be so razor clear, okay, about your message. So you could say I help, or you could say we help if you want to be positioned more of like as a company, as an agency, as a boutique shop. We help outdoor brands build lasting relationships with their customers with high converting websites, with high converting online marketing. We help outdoor brands build lifelong relationships with their customers by building marketing solutions that work. I mean, like, we build marketing solutions. Here's another way, flip it. We build proven marketing solutions. It's a little bit vague. I don't want you to go too jargony. We build we build websites that turn your outdoor brand. That's messy too. I tend to like to, okay, this is why I write them all down. I think going this simple route of we help outdoor brands build lifelong relationships with their customers with effective digital marketing, something like that. And then get a quote. No, they don't want a quote. They're not ready. Get them on your email list. Download just give them something. 7-part checklist to help them get started online, to help them look out for what do they need to look out for a web designer. What are the 7 things that they need to have in place on their website? What are the 3 things that they can do in the next 15 minutes that's going to dramatically change their presence on their website, their marketing, their communication with their customers? What is your expertise? Give them something that's an obvious no-brainer. Get their email, follow up, give all the details in the email to get them on the phone. Okay. What do you got? A discovery tool? Oh, okay. It's getting a quote. They're not there yet. They're not ready. That happens in an email. The option can be there, but they're not going to do it off of your website. Get them on your list. Okay. You got quotes. Okay. You've got, I think the design here can be tightened up, the lines and stuff, and it's full width. I'm pretty sure that needs to be tightened up. Picture can be kind of smaller with your bio to the side. Talk with Doug. I mean, I like the personalization, but yeah, and obviously this is not quite where you want it to be at. And if you want a great source for images, unsplash.com, and type in what you're looking for. These are free images, free stock photos that are just brilliant. So look at this. Outdoor brands, whether you're looking for like younger people or if it's more established and you want to find families, women, men, younger people, older people, like it's all here, man. Nature. There are your professional images that you can use for your website. Craft your messaging, share with us what you're working on, and we'll give you feedback. Sound good? Okay. And then, yeah, you can share this stuff, but again, they don't really care about this stuff. Let me give you an example. I actually really like, who's an agency that I just came across the other day, and they did a nice job with their messaging. mygoodpeople.com. A colleague of mine, Daryl, he has an agency called Good People. We help you create a beautiful web presence to better connect with more of your audience and customers. A little on the vague side, but they do pretty well, and they have more of an established network, and they work with some pretty big, like Smart Passive Income, Pat Flynn, Yoga with Adrienne. Like if I'm looking for an agency to help me kind of with my own web presence and marketing and branding, and I see that they've worked with certain clientele that I'm aware of, then I go, okay, yeah, I know, I get it. But they build websites and brand experiences that help you connect with your target audience. And so it's like, Good People, we help you create a beautiful web presence. What we do, let's see. So everything's clear. Like they try and make it clear, but like we work with companies to create, companies is vague. There's lots of companies, but again, if it works for them, great, but they could probably benefit from, this could be bloggers. This could be digital entrepreneurs. This could be what kind of companies to create human focused brands. So this could be like nonprofits. This could be, depending on who their target audience is, to create human focused brands and web experiences that help them better connect with their ideal customers. Kind of vague wordplay, but they're getting there. Here's how we can help you create a better connection with your audience and customers. Okay, how can you do it? Brand strategy, web design, growth, and marketing. So come up with the plan, building it, and then growing it, not just leaving you hanging. Okay, so it's like a simple, relatively straightforward, sort of thing. Dolly says, much of my experience in the construction remodeling arena, find so many of the smaller entities work in cash and they aren't really businesses needing my services. So then find different areas, find a different niche. Some niches just are not good to work with. Maybe, and maybe it is in that area, but it's higher up, larger brands, more newer companies, the younger construction people who are maybe younger business owners who are starting in that area, who are more aware that digital marketing is an important asset to their business. You can also convince these people as to that their customers are getting younger. meaning the generations are changing. So maybe the business owners are like, we work in cash. We're old school. We're old fashioned. You're like, I get it. Slow down, cowboy. Listen up. Your customers, they're millennials. They're 30 to 40 and they've got some money now. They're building homes and they're remodeling and they want things looking nice. Maybe they got a second home, or maybe it's like Gen Y, or like a younger baby boomer, and they're higher net worth and they're looking for a certain type of thing. They're not looking for cash, like old school, old fashioned handshake deal. Fair and fine. We can talk that language, but here's the deal. If you want to stay relevant, I want you to last. I want your business to be one of those companies that last 100 years or more. How do we do that? Not by doing the things that we've always done. Okay. Hold true to your principles. Those can last 100 years. The ways that you go about communicating with people, that changes. I'm helping you with that. How does that sound? Let's do this. If you want to work in cash, great. But I also have a contract that you need to sign. Okay. But if you need to reevaluate your niche, fair enough. Make it happen. If you know that industry, it's okay to move to a different one. What's a shoulder industry that's related to that? Maybe it's not remodeling and construction. Maybe it's in the, an area that's, they hire different types of companies, different service professionals. Maybe it's in the home industry, but it's like in the home, people who are like interior decorators. Okay. Or maybe it's home builders associations. Okay. Like think about that rather than just like the labor intensive, just like construction companies and contractors. Think where in that can you find a niche? Bookkeeping, business coaching, and admin support. That's great. I mean, that's an awesome service. You just got to find in that industry, find the right people. So maybe it's not in your local area. Maybe it's in a neighboring state or city, or maybe it's elsewhere. Maybe it's more international. Maybe it's more America-wide, North America-wide. And you're more of a business coach and systems strategist for the construction industry, for construction businesses, or for remodeling businesses, or for the housing industry. For the, that's like a pretty specific niche. And then you could start finding those people elsewhere, not in your city. Because certainly there are people who are building homes and who are architects and are building like fancy homes or beach homes or rural homes, farm homes, ranch homes, who don't work in cash and don't go the old school way. They want to stay on top and they want to last 100 years. You can help them do that. Okay. You know the business. Okay. You know their business. Great. I'm one of your people. That's great. But I also do this. And then I connect the two. Okay. I'll coach you there because I know your business and I know how to get you here. I want you to last 100 years. I don't know why I keep jamming on that 100-year thing. I just feel like people who are like, I want a family-owned company that lasts 100 years so that my great-great-grandkids could sell it for $50 million. I don't know. just I'm kind of jamming on that. Susan says, Dolly, have you accessed Brad's launch course? There's a lot in there to help you with niche discovery. Yes, we do a lot of niche discovery. Dolly, do you have access? I hope you have access to that. If you've joined that specific course, 95% of people in the mastermind are in the launch program. Some are in essentials, but the launch program in where is it? Oh, it's hashtag Slayer. I'll have to check into your hashtag Slayer in just a sec there. Playing my side music again. Course module. Let's see. Many are cash, bookkeeping. Sorry, I'm forgetting which module the niche discovery is. Niche and positioning module 3. Okay. So yeah, Doug says, cool. Thanks, Brad. Great to hear you brainstorming this kind of thing. Awesome. You're more than welcome. Dolly Star says many are cash under the table, not looking for record keeping. So then you need to find a new niche. Like if you don't want someone who's going to take their business seriously and they're not like looking to grow and to kind of like do it by the book, and that's fine. I know that there are industries who do that sort of stuff. That's fine. But if you want someone who's going to take you seriously, they also need to take their business seriously. So you might need to find a shoulder niche or a different niche altogether. Module 3 in the launch program, that'll help you get there. Okay. And also talk to us, share your feedback. Okay. With that said, I think that would be all for today. That's all we've got for today. We're an hour and 12. So I really appreciate you guys coming. I hope this was helpful. And, again, what I said at the top of the top of the office hours here was I want you to know that I'm here to help. We're here to help. The secret to a good mastermind and collaborative group is you bring your expertise and you also ask for something. So knowledge, what do you have to offer, and what do you need from people? Okay, so be a mix. Don't be a know-it-all, and don't be a take-it-all. Be a mix it all around it all, whatever you want to call it. You get my point. So bring your problems and bring what you're working on. Don't work on it in secret. You're paying for access to this. Take it very seriously if you want to take your business seriously. I mean, if you don't want to take your business seriously, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But if you want to grow and you're having a problem not getting enough clients, you're in the right place, but you need to show up and you need to bring your problems and you need to share your experiences, and other people will chime in on that. And so will I and everybody else, because that's the call here in the mastermind. And I want you to make weekly progress. The problems you have this week should be different than the ones you have next week because you've moved through that problem, you've solved it, or you're working on solving it. I don't want to see like, oh, my problem this week is I'm not getting clients. I'm like, okay, that was your problem last week. What have you done since last week to change that? Well, nothing. They're not coming. You're like, okay. Have you like reached out to anyone? Have you come up with an offer and offered it? No, because I'm not really ready. My website's not really ready. And, I was just hoping like that joining you would get me a client. Okay. I'm not a magician. I'm providing you with direction, feedback, training, coaching, my intellectual capital laid out there, and me showing up. You shouldn't have the same problems this week as you do next week because you will be working on them. They might be problems that last longer, but you're working on them. Not getting enough clients. Okay, what are you going to do this week to change that? Okay, I'm going to work through module 3, craft out my offer and my niche and my positioning and my messaging, and I'm going to put a list of 58 people on a piece of paper with their emails, their interests, and a way I can reach out to them and manually connect with every single one of them. Not by sounding pathetic and needy, but by adding some sort of value, establishing a relationship, and starting to build it. Whoa, okay, sweet. Report back next Friday. And then we'll check to see where you're at. And then you're going to start making progress. And then we can say, okay, this is wrong. Needs to be tweaked. Make this better. Tweak that. Do this. Do that. Try this thing. Go around this way. But if it's just it's not really working for me, and I'd love to work for myself, or I'd love to make more income doing what I love, but it's not really changing. Like, okay, well, what are you doing to change it? Well, I'm just like hoping it'll change. But it doesn't friggin' work that way, okay? And I'm not trying to like harp on you guys, but I'm also like, you're in my group here and I care that you succeed. So do something about it because I'm doing what I can. And if you need something, bring it to the table. And if you've got an answer, bring it to the table. Okay. Make weekly progress. You have control. You don't have control of how other people respond. You don't have control whether or not someone says yes or no. You don't have control of outside circumstances. What you can control is what you do, how you do something, how you show up, how you project, how you create, how you write. Okay, you can control that. Control the things that you can, otherwise you'll drive yourself crazy. Okay, don't wait for change to happen, make it happen. Okay, that's my pep talk. Dolly says, launch was added after I arrived. Dolly, if you don't have access to launch and you would like access to it, I really would recommend it. By no means is this an upsell, but also it is a little bit. I'd like to have you have access to the launch program. We can give you a special deal on it. If you don't have access, if you do, great, then this is irrelevant. But if you don't have access to it, you're already a member in the Mastermind and you probably have access to a different course, we can give you kind of a student special on getting access to it. So reach out to us if you want it. It will be absolutely fundamental to your success if you don't have access to it. I stand behind the course 100%, as I've been doing this for a long time. Okay, Susan says, tough love. Yes, exactly. All right, folks, you're awesome. I'll catch you next time. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. And the problems that you bring to us next week will be different than the ones you have today, okay? Because you're going to do something about your problems today, your business problems, your marketing problems, your positioning problems, your website problems, your client problems, all those things. Pick one and chart out the path to changing it, okay? Share it with us in the Mastermind. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us what's not working and how you're going to change it, okay? And how we can help you, okay? We've got really good designers here, brand experts, writers, content writers, copywriters, web developers, programmers, bookkeepers, business coaches. We've got lots of people in here who can help, including myself, okay? If you got a problem, tell us what it is. How are you going to change it? How can we help you get there? Got it? Good. Catch you guys next time.